Hello there, welcome to another wee bit of a video. Today's video, we are going to be looking at NFL win totals 2022 over and under for every NFL team. Pretty straightforward. So odds released when the schedule is released on basically over or under X amount of wins for this team. So I say let's just get straight into it. First, we got the Buccaneers, and you can see here odds. So this would be FanDuel, BetGM, PointsBet. I don't even know. I've never even heard of that bookie. And yeah, but just looking here, Buccaneers at over under 11.5. So basically, are they going to get 12 wins or are they going to get 11 wins or less? 12 or more or 11 less? If I was a betting man, which I am, but I would not bet on that, I'd say that's way too close of a bet. I would avoid it. If I had to pick one, I would say over, but I'm completely not touching that one because it's going to be between 10 to 13. So yeah. Packers over under 11. So there's no half because if it hits 11, it's a push, meaning you get your money back and nothing happens. So again, if I was a betting man, or if you did FanDuel's putting it at 10.5. If I was a betting man, I'm not touching that one as well. But if I had to, I would say probably over 10.5 just because it's Aaron Rodgers. And I just don't feel comfortable with it at all. I personally would stay away. Then we got the Bills at 11.5. I would say over 11.5. Bills are probably looking at 12, 13, maybe 14 wins this year. Really solid team all around. Chiefs at 10.5. See, if this was any other year, I'd say over. But they have probably the toughest division in the league with the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos. Broncos are the biggest wild card. I think they could easily look like a phenomenal team this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if they came out kind of flat. I would say, Broncos is a huge wild card, and they could be so good if they really put it together. And then obviously the Chargers are good as it is. And then the Raiders competed last year, and they only added Devontae freaking Adams. Like, oh man, that's gonna be a tough division. So I would like to step away from that. If I had to bet, I'd bet over, but I'm good. Rams, another tough one, but I feel more comfortable with this one on the over because they got the Niners, who are always a problem, the Cards, who are still a problem, and the Hawks, who everyone's sleeping on because they don't have a quarterback. So yeah, Rams, I would say over. Chargers, over 10, under 10. I'm going to give it over 10 because even if they stay at 10-7, which I think they'll be around, you get a push and you get your money back. But if you had this bookie, what's the name of that one? If you had BetGM, they're offering 10.5. I think that's too risky. I would keep it at over under 10. 10.5 is too risky at that point. Ravens, 9.5 at DraftKings, over 9.5. I think that's probably one of the best ones I've seen that I feel is a lock. Lamar Jackson led team. I mean, great coaching from top to bottom every freaking year. These guys compete. I would say over 9.5 is probably a lock. Cowboys, over and under 10. Oh, granted, by the way, that over and under is clearly at minus 160. Let's see can I zoom in? I'm already zoomed in. Guess I'm zooming in more. Well, now you're only gonna see FanDuel and DraftKings and BetGM. So yeah, which I think are the biggest ones anyway. But yeah. So going back to the Cowboys, over and under 10. I would say over, but I'm not touching that one because it's way too close of a call. I would leave that one alone, but if I had to, I'd say over. Colts over and under 10, over. They just got way better with Matt Ryan. They lost Carson Wentz, boo-hoo. Oh, no. That defense is still really good. That offense is only going to improve. I would say over. 49ers over and under. I would like to leave that one alone. I'm so good on that. I don't want to touch that. If you got it at 9.5, you could say over. And honestly, I think that'd be a really good deal if you're on FanDuel. But on DraftKings, I'd just leave it alone. If I had to see, I'd say over. I'm saying over on a lot of these, which some of them are bound to be wrong, and I know that. But that's why I'm staying away from some of these more like scary ones, which is a lot of them, if I'm being honest. Broncos over and under 10. That is like, again, the biggest wild card, which I said earlier. If I had to pick, you guessed it, I'd pick over. I'm good though. Eagles over and under. You also guessed this one. If I had to pick, I'd pick over. But I'm good. Bengals. Oh man, I'm saying over on like all these teams. You know what? Hold up. I think I'm like 11, 10 teams in. So about the other half. Hopefully we got some more unders coming up soon, because there's a lot of teams I'm saying over on. Bengals over 10. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say it, because even if they win 10, all they have to do is go 10-7, and you get your money back anyway. So you're good on that. Vikings. That's a great one, over and under. If you're at 9.5, I would say avoid that, because I think they're a 9-8 team. So at 9, I think it's worthwhile because you could still force a push. But at 9.5, asking for 10 wins is pretty rough. So because even at 9, you don't even get your money back. So over 9, I'm more comfortable with. Oh, at 9.5, that's what I'm kind of like. Yeah, I'm good. Titans over and under. I'm gonna guess under. As competitive as this team has been, they just lost AJ Brown. Derrick Henry's just racking up mileage, and Ryan Tannehill, I'm not a believer in. Cardinals over 8.5, without a doubt. Over 8.5. That's way too low. I'd smash that one. Saints under. Under. I said under her once. Saints under 8.5. I just don't see how they would, turn it around after losing a Hall of Fame head coach, and Jameis Winston is leading the way. So I'm good on that. Dolphins, I'm gonna smash the over 9 plus 100. They've invested way too much into the season to not at least be competitive. The only way they're not is if Tua was a complete flop. And is it possible? Yeah. Would I bet the over 9? Yeah. Raiders over and under. That division is so hard. I'm staying away from it. I don't want any piece of that whatsoever. The bookies are doing a great job with these, because there's a lot of there's some ones where I'm like, oh, easy, give me that. But most of them are like, that's too close. Raiders, I'm gonna go ahead and be that guy and say under 8.5. I think they're more than capable of being over, but the division they're in is just so tough. So very tough. So we're gonna go under 8.5. Patriots, we got at 8.5. I'm gonna say I hate it, because Patriots is one of those teams you don't ever want to bet against. You never know what Bill's gonna pull out of his behind. I'm gonna say under 8.5. Again, I'm just completely staying away from that team. Like I'm staying away from a lot of these. If you're a fan of, like, for example, if you're a Raiders fan, you're betting the over. If you're a Patriots fan, you're betting the over. Like, if you're a fan of these teams, I understand why you're betting the over. But if you're just trying to make a quick buck and enjoy a team win comfortably, I'd say avoid most of these, because a lot of these are really hard. But some of them, again, like the Ravens and the Cardinals, I really liked. Those teams I'd bet over. Patriots under, I guess. Browns under, smash that, easy. I just don't see them staying competitive with Jacoby Brissett for 11 games. Over 8, under 8. Commanders, Carson Wentz led team. Commanders have been bad anyway. Under 8. I'm happy with taking under 8. Giants, under 7. See, now we're getting the unders and we're getting more of the bad teams. And if you're a fan of these fan bases, I apologize. This isn't me trying to bash on your team. This is me just trying to be realistic. Yeah, I'm taking the under 7. Well, because I'm not a believer in Daniel Jones for one. And you guys, I just don't think are even that much more competitive than the Commanders, if I'm being honest. Steelers, over 7.5. I'm always going to believe in Mike Tomlin. Somehow, some way, he always keeps the Steelers competitive, no matter what. Now, granted, he's had Ben, but Ben hasn't been good in very recent years, so they've still been competitive. Lions, I've been watching their Hard Knocks, and just like every year, I'm high on the Hard Knocks team because I see the work. I'm finally not just a armchair analyst. I'm actually like watching, even though I'm not really watching the whole thing. I'm just watching what HBO wants me to see. Even then, realistically, they're probably gonna be under 6.5. Just Jared Goff isn't gonna get it done. He's just being blunt, you know. Unless Dan Campbell's a Sean McVay and can turn Jared Goff into a capable quarterback, then that's kind of what it is. Panthers, over and under 6.5. I wouldn't be surprised if they got over, but I'm going to guess under. I just don't think they have again, QB, having a QB is a big deal. And unless Baker Mayfield can turn it around, probably under. Jaguars, over and under 6.5. I'm staying away from this one entirely. I don't even want to touch it because Trevor Lawrence in his second year, Doug Peterson head coach, solid backfield. Receivers aren't too insane, but I mean, young defensive talent too. I'm staying away from this team completely. They could easily smash over 6.5, but they could also, to no one's surprise, be below that. So stay away from the Jaguars, wild card team. But if I had to pick, I would say under 6.5. But again, stay away from the Jaguars. They could easily get over 6.5. Seahawks, under 5.5. No quarterback. They didn't do jack crap last year with the guy named Russell Wilson. Yes, he wasn't cooking like he typically does, but I don't think it's more so of a him thing. I think the blame goes. Sorry, I've been sick this past week. I've said it in my videos already, but I'm gonna say it again because I've been coughing a lot. Anyway, Seahawks, under 5.5. Bears, under 6.5 is minus 190. They're really supposed to be that bad. Over 6.5. I'm gonna say Justin Fields turns this franchise around and does something. I'm gonna say that Darnell Mooney kicks it into high gear. David Montgomery does his thing. Defensively, they do solid. I'm gonna say over 6.5. Jets. Well, I like Robert Saleh. I do. I think he's a great, energetic head coach. Again, I'm saying this from a chair through a TV. I'm not there in person. I don't got insiders. I don't got agents calling me on my phone saying, oh, blah, blah, blah about this team. I don't got, freaking people that's part of the franchise telling me anything. Just telling you what I see. And I would say stay away from the Jets as well, for one, because they could easily smash over 5.5. I think Elijah Moore is going to be a problem. I think their backfield could be a huge problem. And Zach Wilson, I'm not the biggest believer in, but I just don't think it's worth betting on this team unless you're a Jets fan. You bet over and a half, but stay away. If I had to pick, though, I'd pick under, but stay away. Please stay away. Falcons, under 5. I don't see it. I don't know how this team under Matt Ryan doesn't do good. And Calvin Ridley's out another year. And you lost a solid quarterback and have Mariota, who's just hasn't done anything. Under 5. Kyle Pitts, great talent. I love what he's going to do. I think he's going to have a solid season. I don't think the Falcons are going to have a solid season. Texans over 4.5, under 4.5. Texans under 4.5. I said under a lot through the rest of this video, just because, well, we got to the more worst teams, and I started out with a lot of overs, and I was a little like, oh, this just, it's not possible. There can't be this many. But you know, again, we cycled through the whole league. We found ourselves finding teams that are going to hit under. And again, this is just an opinion, and you can definitely like look at the odds. Like Jets at over 5.5 is -160, meaning you got to bet $160 to win $100. If I'm a Jets fan, I just might do it because I'm a fan of the fan base. But again, if you're a bystander, I guess a spectator, you're a fan of another team, but you're like, oh, should I bet on this team? No, don't bet on the Jets. Don't do it. Stay away. Them, the Jaguars, the Broncos, stay away. It's too close to call. But yeah, just looking at the odds here, for FanDuel and for DraftKings and for MGM, is that what it is? Yeah, BetMGM. Yeah, so I don't know if this is a quick video. I think this is like a 15-16 minute video, but I enjoyed it, looking at all the teams and I guess kind of speculating how well they'll do and how bad they'll do. But yeah, this has been Ollie Been Different on We've Been Different, and we out.